The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
Every tuna fish has its own personality. They're just a magnificent animal.
For most of a lifetime, Cape Cod Captain Tyler McAllister has been hunting tuna in the most ancient way you can.
I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm still learning little idiosyncrasies of fish.
Fish spotting for me has been a real passion.
This is pilot Dan DeHedeville.
Every time I take off, I always wonder if that's going to be the best day you ever had.
A literal fish hawk. He has Captain Tyler's eyes in the air.
Very impressive. The way the body is designed to be so tremendously fast. It's like lightning flying through the water. But even more exciting to me is when you get the whales involved. You can kind of tell if you're going to have that really good day. All right, Tyler, get fishing.
And it comes down to one man, the harpooner.
Boats, 12 o'clock, hold that. 11 o'clock, 3 boats. 12:30, coming up now. 12:30 at a quarter of a boat. Get ready.
Some might call it tuna fishing, but it is something more elemental than that. From out of these waters' history.
Very traditional fishery, going back to the whaling days, back in the 1800s. Harpoon and dart.
Added to man's earliest fishing tool is another that imitates the gulls. Tuna are a resource that has seen change.
I've been doing this since 1985. Some of the best years, the late 80s into the early 90s, and then there seemed to be a reduction in the population of bluefin, giant bluefin specifically.
Overfishing, fueled by an insatiable appetite for sushi and environmental changes, has hit the bluefin population hard.
Fast forward to 2010, we started to see more and more bunches of big fish. And then fast forward 3 more years, we're starting to see a lot of fish in the 80s to 100-inch range.
Strict conservation has succeeded in replenishing fish stocks, which could make these the glory days for bluefin.
On a typical day flying, you'll see one school at a time, if you're lucky.
One day, back in July, we were fishing. Dan saw
The most tuna fish I've ever seen. Both in my circle and outside my circle.
He easily saw well over 100 bunches at the same time.
It was a pretty incredible sight.
I've never seen birds like this following a school of fish. Not like this.
There's been a great recovery of the fishery. Very large bunches of large fish. Definitely an indicator that the fishery has not only recovered, but is really starting to flourish again.
Perched in the sky, Dan has spotted tuna miles ahead.
I got fish up in front of you here.
I built this boat for 2 things, stealth and speed. All right, now we're doing about 21 and a half knots, run into the bunch. Dan's got a nice bunch of fish up in front of us, about 2 miles. Hopefully stay up for us to get to them. Got about another 5 minutes to get there.
It's a race against the fastest of swimmers.
Still got him?
I don't see him right now.
I'm coming. I'm going, pushing her as hard as you go.
Yeah, I got him up.
Yeah, I got him.
Now it's all down to Tyler and his harpoon.
Over to your 11 o'clock.
Cutting sideways, take it sideways!
At 12 o'clock, at a quarter of a boat, and they're gone.
Coordination of pilot, mate, and captain mean nothing without a true harpoon strike.
I like to rod and reel, but this is tuna hunting. You're pursuing the animal, and you're very selective in the animal you take. Sitting in a tower is very much like being in a tree stand. There's a lot of adrenaline involved with this. You just don't know when it's going to happen for you.
I got fish up in front of you here.
Yeah, is that the flock of birds that are 11:30, Dan?
There's a whole bunch of birds that are flying over them. You should be able to see them anytime.
It's now a race out of the pulpit to take up the harpoon.
I got flashes!
12 o'clock! Boat and a quarter!
12 o'clock, at a half boat.
Hit him! Hit him!
I have no idea how you hit that.
That was a big fish. Get down and get this ball ready. Go pull it just like Jaws. 3, 2, 1, 0. Slow it down, slow it down. Hit him, hit him! He's stuck on gear on the bottom.
Off Cape Cod, a way of fishing, the world's oldest, goes on hunting tuna. Added to it are eyes spotting from the sky. At the end of the boat's long pulpit, a harpooner readies for the strike.
Hit him, hit him!
Nice shot,
That
Ty.
was a big fish. Get down and get this ball ready. 3, 2, 1, 0. He's gonna pull it just like Jaws. All right, re-rig, get that empty basket in my cockpit. Get my new rig ready to go. Get me a second ball on that. We know how this is done. There's more fish.
Dan, you got any more fish?
Into a school of tuna, there is no resting with only one. And the team of airplane and boat need to hunt more to survive.
Yeah, I got him up.
With the tuna's greyhound speed, the school could already be miles away.
You ready, Ty?
Plugged in.
Shadowing the bluefin like an eagle, the spotter pilot leads a harpooner back to his quarry.
One of the neat parts of fish spotting is you get to watch the fish. And a lot of times you watch them for a long time waiting for the boat to get to you. And it's funny with tuna fish, sometimes you think they almost have personalities. Some will seem to take the lead and the entire school will follow it. Others sag off and then rejoin the school. You get a perspective on what tuna fish behavior is that I think would be hard to get from the boat.
What matters most in the end, though, is the harpooner's view from the pulpit.
As you get closer and closer, the harpooner is watching 3 things. Is the pace of its tail increasing or decreasing? The fish's depth in the water column, is it changing? And what are the pectoral fins doing? Oh, look at that! Slow it down, slow it down. As you approach a fish and you see those pectoral fins come in or that tail stop, you know that you have about a half a second to let go of the harpoon before those fish are gone. Saying they're gone in an instant is really an understatement.
So many factors, from reading a fish to a lifetime of practice. Instincts that cannot be taught or learned, all bound up in a single lightning strike of a 10-foot harpoon.
Slow it down, slow it down. Hit him, hit him! Back it down, back it down.
Every bluefin, in its own way, is every harpooner's Moby Dick.
I buttonhole, I want you to go through him. We're gonna let him go. He's a big, big fish.
The force of a strike that can pierce through a tuna earns newfound respect for a primitive weapon.
Nice job, gents. 2 fish, 6 minutes. That's the way we do it.
With 2 fish struck, it is time to haul them onto the boat.
I don't think he went very far. He went 1/10 of a mile since we whacked him, so. He's done? He's done. He's all done. All right. Let's get him in quick, all right? Remember, nice and smooth. As soon as you get a hold of him, I'll come down. All right, starboard side.
Hand over hand, the steel blue treasure is retrieved.
Nice fish. Nice fish. All right, let's get this bad Larry aboard. That's a real nice fish.
To help conserve the resource, each fish must be carefully measured and their standard met.
93.
Another giant bluefin lies out there, waiting to be hauled aboard.
Come on, Ty. Come on. Are you moving him at all? No, I'm not moving him at all.
But retrieving a giant remains to be seen.
There's one big fish in the back.
Hit him!
A technique going back thousands of years. The most elemental form of fishing for the elemental task of earning a livelihood from the sea. Now, the catch must be hauled in.
Stuck in the mud. We're stuck on gear on the bottom.
That might be the big one we've been waiting for all day. Let me know when you get him, Rich.
With the money involved in harpooning, there's no margin for error or room for waste.
Owning the boat and the plane, it can get very expensive very quick if you're not able to start connecting with tuna. You can find yourself in a pretty big hole pretty quickly with the price of fuel, because 100 gallons in the boat and another 50 in the plane. But I have a very good pilot, very good crew, so we're able to quickly eliminate those expenses. It's a great feeling, because then you get to go home and you know you've accomplished something.
It may look like steel, but it's gold on the deck. Dollar signs with fins.
We don't know until we go back to the buyer. They'll take the core sample of it, take a tail cut, and then from there, they have to submerge it and brine it, water and ice.
Giant bluefin, like the ocean, can get into your blood early. Meet Nolan, a 13-year-old. He dresses at a big tuna in less than 10 minutes. All learned from working on a harpoon boat. Now it's time to learn the price of tuna.
Consistent over the last 10 years. The average price paid probably around $8 a pound. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, we were getting much better prices because the Japanese yen was stronger against the dollar. But now with the yen closer to 125, you're losing about 50% of the value of the fish on export. Fish are still selling for the same yen in Tokyo. It's just the return on that same fish is much less back to the fisherman. The best day of harpooning usually starts with a nice morning. Weather conditions are right, the moon conditions are right. Leave the harbor and it's relatively flat, and you're going to have that really good day.
A flat ocean, but no plane this morning. Captain and crew must read the sea on their own.
You got to get real good at seeing very subtle differences in the wave. They leave small wakes, so if you can decipher the pattern of the waves, that's the biggest clue that you have tuna fish nearby.
Then the throw is true.
Hit him! Hit him! He's a big, big fish. He freaked out.
That is a huge white shark, dude.
Here is what they used to seek. Today, the catch has changed. But in the heart of a Cape Cod man, there is still a harpooner. To the experience of hunting for thousands of years in the seas with harpoons is added the element of the sky. Eyes that lead the hunters to their prey. And this is what it all comes down to. A lone man on the pulpit of his boat. A 10-foot harpoon waiting in his hands. There has to be tuna at the end of the line to ensure that time, effort, skill, and expense have not been for nothing. And so that the men can carry on this way of life.
Hit him! Hit him! Just harpooned looked like about 100-inch bluefin tuna. Took the rig, let him tow until he's all done. Gonna keep looking for more fish.
Back in the spotter plane, Dan has got to catch up to the boat to help in the hunt.
Well, Danny's on his way. He's probably got another 50 miles to go, so just trying to find any signs of life here. A little bit of wake going on right here in front of us.
This is a basking shark. A gentle cruising giant that feeds by filtering plankton.
Most unbelievable experience that I've had tuna fishing. Last year, heading across Cape Cod Bay, we came across an 18-foot female white shark.
That is a huge white shark, dude. That is a huge white shark.
She circled the boat and came over and looked at me, and I looked at her. I filmed the entire episode.
You can forget Joss. Nothing is like the real thing itself.
There was a sense of calm about her that I can't describe. She knew that I represented absolutely no threat in the effortless way that that animal could move through the water without disturbing, making a ripple. It was incredible.
Today, on water and in sky, the hunt is on for a different monster.
All right, coming up again. Start to make a real slow turn to starboard. Four boats, 12 o'clock, hold that. Okay, hold that.
Everything rides on one throw of the harpoon.
I'm in the clear, in the clear. Be right on him, do you see him?
Tyler must put everything out of his mind. And he strikes.
He's a big, big fish. All right, he freaked out.
Now, there are two giant bluefins to haul in. A day the harpooners live for, and one that lets them go on making a living steeped in tradition.
I never say number two till the tail rope on him.
proof of selective harvest, strict conservation, and a renewed resource. The magic 100-inch mark. Over 600 pounds of tuna. As long as tuna swim, there will be men to hunt them. Making the art of the harpooner an undying one, even as the centuries pass.